Where's the proof? What happened to people wanting receipts? Oh, okay. I think I know what this one is. This one is really stupid to me. I don't know if this is the same Tinder chick. What date was this? Okay, this is 3/18 of 24. So I think that redheaded chick came out like way before that. This is just as ignorant as like the stripper, right? This person has like no proof whatsoever that he's the person she talked to, from what I'm understanding. And look, even at the bottom, it says like this conversation wasn't even like reported. So this just tells me that it wasn't important enough that this person couldn't even prove what they were trying to say. And people are taking this just like they're taking the stripper thing, and they're taking it as gospel, and they're running with it like it's a fact. And I'm like, where's the proof? What happened to people wanting receipts? Because a lot of the people that are running with this bullshit are people that constantly demand proof, constantly demand receipts. I can think of like 4 channels right now. And I can see their stupid thumbnails and their bullshit headlines. And I'm like, if this was Delphi, if this was Jack and Lily, if this was Sebastian Rogers, if this was any other case, y'all be wanting proof and receipts and actual like knowledge, knowing that like this is a legit story. But when it comes to this case, they don't care. They take it, they run with it because they want the clicks. And I don't understand that. That is so pathetically misleading. In a complete 180 from how they literally act with every other case they talk about. I just don't understand that. But okay. On Wednesday, March 13th, 2024, I received an email from Captain Blaker, who still receives voicemail tips reference to this case. Captain Blaker sent me 2 tips for additional follow-up. The first tip was called in by KC. C stated she thought she had matched with Kohberger in September or October of 2022 on Tinder. So were these voicemails that were left in 2024, or were these voicemails that were left in 2022 and now they're just now getting to them? I guess I need some clarification on that. I called C and asked her to elaborate in her voicemail. C stated she signed up for Tinder in September or October of 2022, but she was unable to match with anyone in her area. C stated she paid for the additional Tinder feature. If you are paying for a dating app, stay single. It's not your time, babe. It's not your time. Oh my God. Okay. She stated she paid for the additional Tinder feature, which allowed her to move a pin anywhere. Like, I can't. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry if there are some of you in here that will pay the extra bullshit on these damn apps. But what? I can't even like look at a dating app logo without getting like nauseous. This chick's out here putting money on it. I'm sorry. It could never be me to pay for this kind of shit. It just never could. She stated she matched with Kohberger a short time later and began talking to him. C said Kohberger told her he was a criminology student at WSU. The two communicated via Tinder and planned for Kohberger to visit C when she came home for Christmas break that year. So what does that mean? That she doesn't live in Washington, but like her family does live near WSU? Or is this like a Pennsylvania girl? Because Kohberger is going to be in Pennsylvania for Christmas break. So if they're planning for him to visit her, is she in Pennsylvania for Christmas? I don't know. She then told me she had a friend who had been taken in her town a couple of years prior. She said she discussed this with Kohberger. The conversation turned to horror movies and which one C liked the most. C told Kohberger she liked the Rob Zombie Halloween movies. I'm actually really partial to House of a Thousand Corpses myself. Never really liked the Halloween movies. To this, C said Kohberger asked what she thought would be the worst way to die. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and like talk about that kind of stuff with people that I just met. Like the story and the movies, but that's like a deeper conversation, and you're not getting that out of me at all. Like at this point, like I've known you for 5 minutes, broski. But this is his like case study. This is what he does. His brain automatically goes to this. So if you know that, then it's not alarming. It's not really a red flag, especially since like she started the murder conversation is how it sounds. Like he's like, oh, I'm in criminology. And she's like, Oh, my friend was murdered. And that's how the conversation started. So I guess I can see like why it would have turned into this, but it doesn't feel abnormal for what he is, but I could see how some people would be like, okay, Okay. She said she thought it would be a knife. She said Kohberger then asked her something to the effect of like a K-bar. Yeah, this is where you just lost me, chick. Sorry, not sorry. You kind of just lost it there. C said she didn't know what that was and had to Google it. C said she eventually stopped talking to Kohberger because his questions made her uncomfortable. You bring up how your friend was murdered and then you don't like where the conversation ends up going. I don't believe this right here. This is all like through the Tinder app, right? Load it up, baby. You paid for this service. You've got receipts for this service. Load it up. Let me read your conversations. Let me read it. C then said Kohberger was arrested. She recognized his photo and remembered the comment about the K-bar. I'm sure you did. C said she attempted to call the tip line, but I have been unable to verify whether or not C called the MPD tip line. There is no record of her calling the FBI tip line. C said she no longer had access to her Tinder profile and cannot get her user ID. Convenient. This would be needed to compare the Tinder records located on Kohberger's phone. At this time, there is nothing to corroborate. Actually, no, Payne. You could easily go back in, do another Tinder warrant, unless you already have his messages for his Tinder warrant, and you can see who he's been discussing stuff with. You can see their conversation because the half of it's him. So if you wanted to figure this out, you could have. So it doesn't sound really like you want to. Oh, here we go right here. This is the Tinder chick again. Okay, Brett Payne, KC from Tinder. On April 2nd, 2024, Detective Mallory sent a preservation request to Tinder for any records related to KC as reported by C in her tip. Later on April 2nd, 2024, Detective Mallory sent me an email including the response from Tinder, which stated there were no records associated with any of the identifiers C provided. At this time, there is no indication records to support C's tip exist in the Tinder records. If further information or new identifiers are found, I request a new search for the Tinder account. Undamn believable. Please do not forget to leave a like on your way out and subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already.